Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Akmal. So I will explain about introduction part. So the introduction is sustainable technology is a general term that describes innovation that considers natural resource and fosters economic and social development. Its main goal are to drastically reduce environmental and ecological risks and to create sustainable product. Devices such as portable water turbines are one of the sustainable technologies. Right. This device is commonly used by campers because it can generate electricity in areas such as forests, hills that are far from the radar of the area where electricity is channeled. So, for our project aim to innovate the materials used for the production of this portable water turbine device. We use aluminium metal because it is able to withstand strong water current from the river. In addition, we also plan to produce this device in a more stable form.
Next is material selection. The first material is aluminium. Aluminium is one of the chemical elements which is known as symbol Al and has atomic number 13. The characteristic of aluminium is non-corrosive, lightweight yet durable, and good heat and electrical conductor. Next is stainless steel. Stainless steel is a corrosion-resistant alloy of iron and chromium. Steel is an alloy of iron and carbon. Stainless steel characteristic is high corrosion resistance, resisting heavy wear such as friction, abrasion, impact and elasticity, and lastly environmentally friendly, which is recyclable. Next material is brushed DC motors. Brushed DC motors are one of the simplest type of DC motors. It uses brushes to deliver current to the motor windings through mechanical commutation. The characteristic is low cost, ideal for extreme operating environments, and can often be rebuilt to extend the life. Lastly, the material is DC brushless motors. DC brushless motors were first developed to achieve higher performance in a smaller space than DC brush motors, and it is smaller than comparable AC models. The characteristic is long lifetime, less overall maintenance due to lack of brushes, and lastly high efficiency.
Now we will go to the processing and manufacturing part. Number one is sandcasting. Sandcasting is one of the most ancient and cost-effective method of producing metal components and structures. Controlling the structures and the characteristic of grain sand and core is critical for producing high-quality metal parts and structures. Number two is soldering. Soldering is a method of attaching two or more things by melting and inserting a filler metals into the joint, with the filler metal melting at the lower temperature than the adjoining metal. Soldering, unlike welding, does not require the work components to be melted. Number three is injection molding. Injection molding is a manufacturing method that involves injection molten material into a mold or mold to create parts. Metal, glassware, elastomers, confection are among the materials used in injection molding. And the last is extrusion. Extrusion is a procedure that involves pushing metal through a die with the desired cross-section to make things with a set cross-sectional profile. Its two key advantages over the manufacturing techniques are the capacity to build the very complicated cross-section and the ability to work fragile materials because the only compressive and shear stress are applied to the material.
My name is Muhammad Hazmi bin Muhammad Zamri. I'm from section 10 and my metric number is CD210070. Today I want to discuss about selection of suitable material and process for portable water turbine. First, the suitable material that we choose for our project portable water turbine are aluminium and stainless steel. For the housing, we will use aluminium. Aluminiums offer a rare combination of valuable properties. It is one of the lightest metal in the world. It's almost 3 times lighter than iron but is also very strong. extremely flexible and corrosion resistant because its surface is always covered in an extremely thin and yet very strong layer of oxide film. Second, for the blades, we will use stainless steel. It's durable and affordable metal that is used for a wide variety of purposes. It's strong, making it perfect for construction purpose, and it's corrosion resistant, so it can last a long time without being replaced or breaking. And the most common and well-known form of corrosion is rust. Stainless steel alloy have high strength, thinner section and then standard carbon steel, and reduced mass that enhance the hydrodynamic flow, condition and efficiency of the water turbine. And lastly is our manufacturing process for the aluminium and stainless steel. We will use sand casting. Sand casting, also known as sand mold casting, is a metal casting process characterized by using sand as the mold material. The term sand casting can also refer to an object produced via the sand casting process. Alright, sand casting mode, how it works. The following are the 7 main steps for the sand casting cycle. First is pattern making step, in which a replica of the object to be cast be made of suitable material. The pattern is normally oversized to allow for metal shrinkage during the cooling phase. Second, in mold making a sand mold is formed by packing sand into the mold around the pattern. The sand mold is divided into two halves. The top half is called the cope, and the bottom part is called the drag. When the pattern has removed, the cavity it formed remains for pouring the molten metal. Mold, we have other feathers such as sprue, runner, gate, pouring cup, riser, which is discussed in detail later. Third is the clamping step, involve the two mold half cope and drag securely clamped together ready for pouring metal. Fourth, pouring molten metal is maintained at a set temperature. Molten metal is poured in quickly to avoid early solidification. Fifth, pure molten metal will begin to cool and solidify once it is inside the cavity. Most of the possible sand casting defects are introduced at the solidification stage. Sixth, once the cooling period elapses, the mold can be shaken out or broken off and casting. And lastly is trimming, involve cleaning and removing the section that connected to the main part such as runner and sprue.
My name is Muhammad Daniel Hafiz bin Aminuddin. My matrix number is CD 210112. I'm from section 10. Advantages of sand casting. First, large parts can be produced. Second, complex shapes can be cast easily. Third, large selection of metal to choose from. Tooling and equipment cost is low compared to some other metal forming processes. Fifth, scrap metal can be recycled compared to other similar processes. Copper cable will be used to connect with the motor. A copper wire is a single electrical conductor made of copper. It can be insulated or uninsulated. A copper cable is a group of two or more copper wires bundled together in a single sheet or jacket. Copper wire and cable is used in power generation, power transmission, power distribution, telecommunications, electronic circuitry, and countless types of electrical equipment. Then we will use brushless DC. Brushless DC motor will be used as the generator. A brushless DC electric motor is a synchronous motor using a direct current DC electric power supply. The advantage of a brushless motor over brush motors are high power to weight ratio, high speed, nearly instantaneous control of speed (RPM) and torque, high efficiency and low maintenance. Brushless motor can be used for several other underwater uses, including boats, jet skis, modern submarines, automatic fish feeders, and more. The cable will be connected to the motor by using soldering. Soldering is a process in which two or more metal items are joined together by melting and then flowing a filler metal into the joint. Unlike welding, soldering does not involve melting the workpieces. So how do solder cable to the motor? First, get a thermostat, and then strip and thin your cable. Make a hook on the end of the cable. Hook the cable through the lug and squish it tight. Clamp the thermostat behind the cable, and lastly, solder it.
So for the conclusion part, I will explain. So in conclusion, we converted the portable water turbine product to aluminium metal for the casing part and also stainless steel material for the blade part. So for this, we use the sand casting method to form the casing and blade because this method is capable of producing complex shapes. We use the motor as a power generator, which is why the wire connection need to be done. So we use the soldering method to connect the wire and the motor. So that's